Welcome, everyone, back to the Energy Center podcast. This is Dana Teresa. We are here at episode 46. I am thrilled to have a very special guest joining me in the studio today. Her name is Sofia Chay, and she is the owner of Vitality down in Eagle, Colorado. I have the beautiful blessing of being able to teach yoga and sound healing and offer my workshops there. And it is such a beautiful gift to our community. And I'm excited to have Sofia here today. So first off, thank you for being here on the podcast, Sofia.
Thanks for having me.
It's so wonderful to have you in this space. And I get to work really closely with Sofia. She is an amazing person. And when I think about you, Sofia, I think of heart-centered business. And I also think of you as like the spiritual warrior. And we're going to get into just everything about Vitality and what it brings to the community. But first, I'd love for you to just introduce yourself and a little bit about your journey. What led you to becoming this heart-centered business owner?
Yeah. Okay. Well, my name's Sofia. I, as Dana said, own Vitality. I also teach classes there. I also do myofascial release, so MFR therapy and massage therapy. But ultimately, when I think about what got me where I am now, I mean, obviously it was my whole lifetime story, right? That brings me to where brings
a big
us
question.
to where we are always.
Yeah.
But for me, a lot of my life challenges have had to do with physical pain in my body. And so I've constantly been humbled by my body and had to learn how to get out of pain. I was a college athlete. I got injured a lot. I had a major jaw surgery when I was just after college. And I feel like my life was such a contrast of a lot of movement and then a lot of stillness from injuries. And in the stillness, I feel like I started to seek out a lot of stuff during that time. Like I remember when my jaw was wired shut for 16 weeks. I couldn't really have conversations with people. I was learning how to nourish myself with liquids and, figuring all that out. But that was a really pivotal time for me because of the amount of silence that I was experiencing. And I feel like when I think about the most memorable moment where my life kind of shifted spiritually, it was then. And so I was seeking a lot of books, and I was reading the book of the Tao, and I was just like connecting to nature so much because that's all that that's where I was. I was just sitting and being, and finding peace in that. So, I feel like my pain has become my purpose, which I think is a theme in pretty much everyone's life in some way or another.
Right.
And, I also was really inspired to go to massage school because I found actually Susanna, who works here in Westvale, Aquarian Uprising, she really inspired me to go learn about the body. And so I went to massage school and I randomly found this one that was, everything just aligns so perfectly when you look back at it, I found Crestone School of Healing Arts, and that school was so much more than massage school. It was like spiritual, boot camp, if you want to call it that. Deep diving into Chinese medicine, a lot of energetics, doing a lot of qigong and with myself and nature and Kundalini yoga. So I feel like once I started the path, it just spiraled and it just kept going and doors kept opening, and I would see the next thing that I wanted to go learn. A lot of my focus now is fascia, which is a whole topic that maybe will come up later or not. But it just kind of led me to this. And Hannah and I actually opened Vitality in 2021 together, and we didn't really know what we were doing. I just had this weird yes in my body, and we were looking for a community space that people could gather in, just something that we were seeking for ourselves that we didn't have. And then all of my personal training and activity stuff just came through like, oh, wait, we need weekly classes. And all of a sudden we created a studio. And it started with the foundation of workshops, but then it turned into to a full-on studio.
Right.
In a really small space.
Yeah.
And pretty quickly, Hannah kind of knew that she had other pulls in life and wanted to, now she's an incredible hat maker in Carbondale. She's just crushing it.
Yeah.
And as she kind of felt the call to move, I felt the call to strengthen the foundation of what we created. And there's been this such clear force driving behind it, even though I haven't always known exactly where it was going to go. So trusting in that, that's how it all kind of evolved.
Wow. I love everything you shared there. And I don't even think I ever have heard that detailed of a story of your background. And it really helps me put a lot of pieces together as to how it was all created and, where you came from. And it makes so much sense when I think about what you just shared and how you had to sit in stillness and have literally no choice but to drop into your body and really get to know your body. And then you have such a deep connection to your body. I see you as being so embodied in your own physical body. And then in Vitality and in the work you do with Myofascial Release, it's like you're teaching people how to come back into their bodies, and with the MELT method as well. And maybe we'll talk about that a little bit too. So it's like your struggles, your challenges with the physical body really helped you be more of a master of the physical body. And now you're bringing that to other people in the community as well. And I love Vitality so much because it is not just a yoga studio. It is so much more than that. It offers a wide range of classes. It's yoga, it's also sound healing, it's meditation classes, it's the MELT classes, it's the sculpt classes, and the what's the class that I always go to? That's like super hardcore.
Oh, the HIIT.
The HIIT classes, yes, the HIIT classes. I've come to love HIIT. I need to do it more.
Yeah.
The high intensity interval training. And so all of those things kind of come together to really nourish the body, the mind, and the soul. So it's really like this holistic center. Was that your intention when you first started it?
100%.
Yeah.
I think, we said yes into the unknown, and then it quickly became very clear why we needed classes on the schedule. For me, I was trying to create a space that I didn't feel really existed in the Valley, that I didn't have that place to go to, where I could do the high intensity workout, and then I can also do the sound bath, and then I can do all these variations of yoga classes that are all supportive in all their different ways. I mean, there's just so many ways to take care of ourselves.
Right.
And I felt the call to have it all in one space. And I knew that was kind of taking a risk because it was doing something different. It was not being just a yoga studio.
Yeah.
How do you explain that to people?
Yeah.
And my number one goal within that was, quality and authenticity behind all of these different layers. So yes, we have it all, but I also want all of it to be very aligned from the person that's teaching it instead of just, let's add this to add it.
Right.
Right. And so I know that everyone can feel that in the space because I try to give each teacher their creative freedom to teach what they love and how that's helped transform their life. And so each offering is so quality and so embodied and so authentic to the teacher.
I love that.
And so, but yeah, the goal for me was definitely a holistic approach to self-care. And I think that also is just a part of the way that I take care of myself. And I see how clearly that is so important. Like the HIIT is so important to me. I teach that class.
Yeah.
And I do have that fire and that fuel in my body that needs to be unleashed. I need to move my body in that way.
Right.
It's a release, but it's also so important for longevity with bone density, increasing bone density with lifting weights because we add weights with it, obviously, as you know. And then the cardiovascular benefits, like pushing your body to have adaptation, which is so important long term.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, sound baths, for instance, if you want to go the complete opposite spectrum,
right.
are so important for your nervous system
Yes.
and finding that deep rest.
Yes.
And then everything else is like all the layers in between, right? The movement, the stretching, the fascial hydration.
Yes.
I've watched people who come in for the first time, and then I watch them explore all these things and how it's so cool to see the person shift as they start to hold all of these pieces into their routines.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's so beautiful. And that's one thing I remember when you guys first opened and I looked at the schedule, I was like, wow, this is very different. This is something really new and very innovative. And I think, how long has Vitality been open now?
We're 4 years now.
4 years now. Mm-hmm. So in those 4 years, you've really maintained this grounded and connected feel. You really continue to expand and grow even more. And I walk into the studio every single time and it's like thriving, and the energy in there feels so good and it feels so grounded and connected, and it's just like a home. When I walk in there, I've told you this before many times, I feel like I'm coming home. And so how do you make sure, as a business owner, how do you make sure to keep that consistent, that grounded, connected feel?
I think for me, and this is just, maybe it's because I was a college athlete and was on a team, and that was really important, or the foundations of what team means and what are motivators within team, and creating a foundation for something. Like, my job is to create the energy behind this whole thing. And so it feels like a really important job to stay connected to all of these pieces for myself, like walk the walk if I'm expecting others to do that too.
Yeah.
And I just feel like naturally, because I've been following this deep commitment that's coming out of my soul to do this work, and it just is so strong in me, I know that just expands into the team, and it just is that simple of just embodying the practices and being so devoted to myself in the way that I want others to feel. Wow. And I think that's it. It's just I don't know. I don't see running a business any other way, really.
Yeah.
It is from the heart, but it's also from the soul. And it's just that commitment to, and saying yes to it, you know?
Wow. I love that, because I speak to that all the time on this podcast. Like, when we are ourselves, when we are true and authentic to ourselves and taking care and nourishing ourselves, and that will have this ripple effect to all those around us. And you are just like living proof of that, which is like so cool to see. And it's so incredible to be a part of it. So you mentioned the heart, like heart-centered business. I really see Vitality as this heart-centered business, and it also exudes this energy of love and deep connection. And in a world that is changing and evolving so much, it really feels to me like the heart-centered businesses are the businesses that are going to stand the test of time, that are going to sustain themselves. So how do you see, that's my perspective, how do you see business is evolving as a business owner, because that's what you are at the end of the day, right? As a business owner, how do you see business evolving in our world today?
You know, I feel like I'm really old school, and I'm kind of behind on the times. Like, I'm already, I don't utilize AI at all, 0%. And I have this, I'm a Taurus full moon today.
It is the Taurus full moon today, by the way. And Sofia is a Taurus, and she's on the show. So you know it's aligned.
Yeah, perfect day to do it. My stubborn Taurus bull really doesn't even want to engage with AI, because even when I write my newsletters, someone was like, well, you could take that off your plate by using that. And I do have 2 toddlers. My plate is very full.
Yes.
I'm juggling so much And working smarter, not harder is a good option sometimes. But for this specific thing, I'm like, no, I want to write the own words in my newsletter. Even if AI can start to figure out who I am and get as close to me as possible, it's still not coming from me.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if this is relevant or not to your question, but I just think that what we're doing specifically in our business, it's all about what you feel in your body, and nothing can replace that.
Yeah.
And it's actually going to be the most important thing that we have in this lifetime and lifetime others to come.
Right.
As we get further separated from ourselves in this world that is just naturally evolving in the way that it is. And there's parts to surrender to it, but I do feel like, you know, there's a lot of talk about people losing their jobs and doing these things, which is a true reality that we're looking at in a lot of areas of life. But yeah, I mean, nothing can replace a person's heart.
Yeah.
It's just not possible.
Yeah.
And I think that when you look at humans and our evolution and just what we are, we need that connection and that feeling to have health in all the other areas of our life.
Absolutely.
So for vitality specifically, I just feel like standing even stronger in that commitment to heart and feeling is the future of the evolution of this specific business.
Yes.
And that just feels like such a big why.
Yes.
You know?
I love that response. And that's really actually how I feel about AI is I feel it is meant to like take the busy work off of our plate so that we can be more human. So we can connect more to our emotions, connect more to each other, work from our heart spaces instead of being up in the mind all day. If we give like kind of the mindless little tasks to AI that it can do, cool, so that we can have more time and space to come together in community and do things that Vitality offers.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I could see myself utilizing it in ways to help me, be more efficient with my time and that's what life for me is right now, is all compartmentalizing. I feel like every single thing I'm doing, I'm 100% there. And then I'm 100% with my kids. And so if you text me when I'm with my kids, I'm probably not going to respond until the next day. And then, or I'm at the studio teaching and being present with the people there, you know, and that it feels wild to be so compartmentalized in a lot of ways, more than ever before, especially with toddlers. That makes it very obvious. But yeah, it is cool because the quality is stronger. In that presence of the moment.
Oh, awesome. And I do want to give a shout out. Vitality just won from the Vail Daily Best Yoga Studio, right?
Yoga studio, workout spot, and holistic health practice.
Yeah. So to me, it just, again, goes to show when you are aligned and when you are on your soul's path and you're following all the breadcrumbs, which it feels like it comes very natural for you to just like kind of follow your intuition and like go with the flow and see where the universe is guiding you into. When you follow your soul, when you follow the signs from the universe, it's like it all comes together and the universe supports you and you're getting like that external validation around it, right?
Yeah.
Because you've built this beautiful space. Classes are like just booming. Your teachers, you have this beautiful group of teachers. We just had this group activity. That's the other thing that I love about you, Sofia, is you brought all of us teachers together so we could just like spend quality time together for our staff meeting. It wasn't like, okay, we have a staff meeting, we got to go through this agenda. It was like, no, we're going to come together and have a yoga class together and like spend time and really build that foundation, right? Because you're the foundation and then it's your teachers, right? And then the teachers bring in the classes and the students. And so it's all connected in such a deep way and an intentional way, which I think is so important for business in general these days.
Totally.
So maybe let's shift the conversation. I'd love for you to talk more about myofascial release and what that's all about. I've never experienced it myself. I've been wanting to come have a session with you. So yeah, share with the audience what that's all about.
Yeah, I think that myofascial release has a lot of different identities, I guess, is what I found out when I started studying it, because I was recommended myofascial work or studying it by a friend, and then I found a different kind. So there's definitely different ways to work with fascia. The myofascial release that I do is the John Barnes method. It is probably one of the biggest ones that's like a method, if you will. And then there's like Rolfing is another method of fascial work. So MFR John Barnes is very layered. It honestly, when I showed up, I thought I was looking at more structural work, kind of like Rolfing or something more hard tissue work. And what I showed up to was like trauma release. And I mean, it was amazing. I didn't realize it even had that capacity.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there learning the science, and my mouth is just getting open and open. And I'm like, whoa, I landed in this place that I need to know this. And this is my destiny.
Wow.
And it just made me look at body work completely differently and how to release tissue.
Can you explain for the audience what fascia is?
Yeah, so fascia's a web of connective tissue that's basically a 3D hologram through your body. It's what connects your body together, from your skin to your bones and your organs. So it's all one piece. There's different textures and like sizes of spindles of it as you go, but ultimately it's an organism that is keeping you together. The old science behind fascia, they viewed it as a lifeless structure that held us together. So it was just what kept our bodies, right?
Yeah.
And what they know now is that it's extremely intelligent. It has memory.
Wow.
It has just as much intelligence as the nervous system, but does not necessarily always need the nervous system to do what it wants to do. So it can function by itself. And that's really important when you think about physical trauma to the body and how it will tighten or protect by itself without your brain choosing that, right? So it's like dealing with stressors outside of your conscious mind all day long, which is why we get in these random pain cycles, right? Or, stress builds up and all of a sudden your neck's throbbing and you're like, why is it here? Well, the fascia was communicating and absorbing that stress and taking it to wherever the system was already kind of compromised, if you will.
So interesting.
So it's just going to, and it's wild because its memory, it remembers everything from before you were born, like when your body was starting to be created. So when you're working with fascia, there's so many different layers to it, right? Some people are just coming for an injury and scar tissue, and that is a way to, work with that too and help bring in hydration and create more space in the web. But then there's the trauma aspect that is also living in the tissue, and the stress, the stuck stress, all different kinds.
Wow.
And so there's a lot of possibility in the work. It depends on what the person also wants to accomplish from it and why they're even coming to the session. So not every single time is this crazy emotional release necessarily. The opportunity is always there, but it's a conversation with the subconscious. So it's pretty layered and in a lot of ways.
Wow.
But there's so much possibility. It's not just like, my shoulder hurts, I'm going to rub these muscles and whatever. And what I've also found too is that with just as simple as chronic pain or acute pain, releasing the fascia first is basically opening up space that's woven through the muscles. So say you come in and you have a tight trap and you're coming because of that. Well, really, I'll always first work on the fascia because the web of connective tissue that weaves through that tight muscle needs to have more space before the muscle can even relax, right? So it changed my perspective on even just regular massage because I feel like the muscle is way more likely to relax if the fascia is open first.
Wow.
So there's that, and then there's the energetics, there's the trauma.
Yeah.
There's stuff that people realize are from past lifetimes that's stuck in their body.
Right.
You know, so it's, fascia to me is just the system that matters the most in the entire body. And the more that I work with it with my hands and feel it, it's like it is a conversation that you're having with the tissue, and it's responding to you, and it's showing you the path.
Wow.
And
Wow, you're like just kind of blowing my mind right now with this conversation, because this has so much implication for the work that I do. It's like I speak so much to the energetics, but you're kind of helping to tie it all in together with the physical as well, like the physical body and what's showing up in the physical body, and then the energetics behind it. So, wow, it's just like super interesting to me. Do you feel like it's always, anytime we have an injury or like a pain in the body, do you feel like there's always a mental, emotional, energetic connection to that?
I think most of the time, yes, because even if you have a accident on your bike, your body is storing that as emotional trauma too. So I think the craziest thing, a great example, going back to my jaw surgery, after my jaw surgery, I had already gone to MFR training, and I ended up going on a week intensive apprenticeship at the center in Sedona. And I got work done. I was having a really hard time opening my mouth post jaw surgery. This was like over a year later. And I could probably only open my mouth halfway. And so I received a session, and she was working on my face. And that was the first time anything in my face had been touched. And it's going to sound crazy, but it was really wild. I mean, this is a perfect example of the tissue storing its own feelings about what happened, right?
Yeah.
So I felt really good because I'd come so far and I'd healed a lot of stuff. I went through this spiritual awakening while I was wired shut. You know, it was crazy. And then she's working on my jaw, and all of a sudden it literally opened spontaneously, like full, like the biggest that it could. And all of a sudden it started yelling, ow. And it was like yelling out of me, ow. And it was like this crazy release. And I was like, my mind is not doing this right now. So this is so wild. And it was just like my tissue's expression of the trauma.
Oh my goodness.
And then after that, I had full range of motion ever since. It was like gone. And any of the residual pain was gone. It just had to like get it out and release itself.
That release.
And so my point with that is, yes, that was a specific physical trauma, but it was still very emotional in my body.
Yes.
And they say that my teachers, even for MELT and MFR, which is funny because they're two completely different ways of working with fascia, and MELT, I would say, is a lot more science and lab, research-based. They both explain that like a car accident is stored the same in your fascia as the loss of someone in your life or a extremely traumatic emotional event. So your fascia does not differentiate if it was physical or emotional. It's stored the same, and it has both in it.
Wow. That reminds me of a situation I had. I was mountain biking in Crested Butte once, and I went over the handlebars and I endoed, and the handlebars hit my lower abdomen, and it was a busy trail, and I was so embarrassed, and I just like got back on my bike and kept riding. And Drew was actually behind me because he had a flat tire he was fixing. And eventually he caught up with me, and he like looked at me and he like knew something was wrong. He's like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I fell off my bike." He's like, "Do we need to stop?" I'm like, "No, keep going." And then like I went to pick up my leg to get back up on my bike, and I couldn't like lift my leg. And then I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, I have internal bleeding. I need to go to the hospital. And then finally, like Drew stopped and I stopped again. And he's like, are you okay? Seriously? And I just started like bawling and crying. And then I'm like, I'm okay. I was just really scared and blah, blah, blah. And then I went to get on my bike and I could lift up my leg and the pain was gone. It was like literally I fell off my bike and I hurt myself and I didn't take the time to express that emotion or release it. I was like storing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as I let out the emotion, as soon as I started crying, it went away.
Yeah.
So it's just the work you do. It's wow. It's so profound and it's really powerful.
Yeah.
And it goes to show that everything is connected. Our body, our emotions, and our system, our fascia is trying to speak to us all the time. So when we have these little aches or pains that we just try to put to the side or ignore, it's actually like feedback that our body is trying to give us to tell us that something is here, something needs to be healed, or something needs to be released, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's funny that we're talking about this because I had a really great conversation with Sirea from Legacy Cacao yesterday. We were just talking about shifts in business and what's happening in their world, but we were talking about fascia and like just the spiritual world. And right now, you know, the fusion between heaven and earth and our bodies.
Yeah.
And to me, what came through clearer than ever before for me in my process with what I'm doing in work and you know, you said it earlier, there's something for me about being in this body that is fully my purpose in this lifetime. Is it's talking with other people's bodies. It's getting us all out into our body to hear what the body's wisdom has to say.
Wow.
And to me, what I'm starting to realize is I truly believe that the path to your spiritual heightening is through the body, because you have to go into your body and listen to your body. Your body is going to scream at you until you address whatever that thing is that's holding you back from the next. You know, it's like we have to be in our bodies to go anywhere else anyways, right? And honor them. You know, they're our vessel.
Yes, they are our vessel. And I say this all the time, but we are here on earth as a human and we have to be in our human bodies. We have to have this human experience in our human bodies. And sometimes that like the spirituality can take us outside of our bodies and that's cool. But ultimately at the end of the day, we need to be in our bodies and learning from our bodies and connecting and listening. And yes, having our spiritual awakening while still connected in our human body. That's so beautiful. So I want to actually bring it back around to the spirituality and what you're offering at Vitality, because I see Vitality as this real up and coming, blooming, blossoming spiritual center. I feel like I can really be myself there and bring all of my offerings there. And people are so curious and so interested and just want to learn more. I really see the students at Vitality have this thirst for learning more about spirituality and diving deeper into their spirituality. So was that also an intention, or did that just kind of evolve as you got into the business?
Yeah, no, that for sure has always been a part of it too. You know, mind, body, spirit, all of the layers of taking care of ourselves, right? When I was in high school, I started doing some spiritual workshops and stuff that my parents just kind of took me to. And that's where that all ignited. And so, and then I had that, you know, time that I was explaining Wired Shut, just kind of deep diving into my own spiritual understandings. And yeah, so that's always been such a big part of me since I was younger, that I was also seeking in a community space. I felt like, you know, there are some great studios and great gyms and these places to go, you know, practice stuff. But like I said, I was looking for specific things that I didn't feel held me that way. So obviously the variety of offerings, but also spiritual home,
Right.
like the opportunity to explore these ideas and concepts and practice them and see what happens. And I mean, you can't really do meditation without diving into some sort of level of spiritual growth, right? Because it takes you there. That's what it's for. And I think looking outside of in life, looking at the bigger picture is so important. I mean, if you want to talk about mental health, having faith or a connection to spirituality in general, that common thread of believing in the greater, the highest power, the greater good, is crucial in staying connected to your heart and love.
Yeah.
And trusting the path.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like when I was having my spiritual awakening many years ago, it was like I felt so alone, and I felt like no one saw the world in the way that I did. And I really struggled with feeling understood. And so I kind of bottled it up and kept it inside for a long time. And I feel like Vitality offers that to people, a space where you can go and hear new perspectives and speak your truth and be who you are and share your gifts in a way. And so what do you see, how do you see spirituality evolving in our community or even just on the collective level?
I think that people are opening up deeper right now to their spiritual practices or their faith in the church. I mean, to me, it's all the same in the sense of what we're getting from, these practices. And I think that just the love of God or universe is something that, as the world is becoming a harder placer to be in, which is so true, we are being pushed to dive deeper into our spirituality and our faith, because that is where you remember, the love. And so to me, I just feel like it's just naturally becoming clearer. I think the veil is, and I know you agree with me on this because we've talked about it, the veil is thinner than ever before. I've never been able to close my eyes and just see what I'm seeing in my lifetime. Like the visions are so clear. Yeah. The voices are so clear. Yeah. And obviously that's a testament to the devotion to myself in this phase of life, but it's also, even with clients, you see people accessing things for the first time and they just showed up and they didn't know what they were getting into. Everything's so available right now. Yeah. And I think there's a deeper yearning. So yeah, I feel like it's an exciting time in that sense.
Yes, it is an exciting time. And I feel like people are more open than ever, and they're believing more than ever, and they're having that internal validation, right? Like you're guiding them through that, you're guiding them to it or helping them, right? And at the same time, they're experiencing it for themselves. So it's like, I feel like we're coming into this time when people are really learning and embracing that I am responsible for my own health and wellness. I have the ability to be intuitive. I have the ability to share my gifts with the world. It all comes from within me, and I'm receiving that internal validation. And when I am receiving that internal validation and following my own soul's light and where my soul is guiding me to, then that external validation shows up. So
yeah. I mean, even just a little glimpse will change your perspective, you know, and especially when it's your experience.
Yes.
And you're like, whoa, that was my guide, or that was a message that came to me.
Yes.
And it's, once you kind of see it, you can't unsee it, you know, and then it's kind of where the doors just open. Yeah. I was talking to Kirsty about this yesterday, because I was also talking about just spirituality and the personal development and this idea that I feel like sometimes people take it really seriously, but I think what we're doing in the studio too, we just have so much fun.
Yes.
And I feel like it's just so amazing to see all these people like that are playful and joyful. And it doesn't, yes, trauma release is big work, and it takes bravery to tap into the depths of our darkness. Like I know that, right? But then on the other side, you get to see like what freedom you experience. And I think all of us are really just, we get to show like the fruits of the work just by how much joy it is. And I feel like sometimes I look at you guys, or we'll look at each other and we're like, I need some of that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the next day you're on the floor and you're like, what did I sign up for? Yeah. And then after that, you're like, I'm free.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's fun because feeling like you're alone, or not taking it too seriously, like, you know, is so important too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And then I just had this question come through, because I feel like you have done such a great job of just like facing your fears or your traumas or whatever. You're just like so comfortable, it seems like, sometimes with facing them and acknowledging it and transmuting it. So what would you have to say to someone who kind of knows that they're ready for some healing, but there's fear coming up, or they're not quite ready to go there yet? What would you say to someone who feels like the work is calling them, but they're kind of afraid of it?
Yeah. You know, I just think that ultimately, sorry, I keep getting a little
That's
tickle
okay.
in my throat. Yeah, I feel like what I'm trying to say is more of a feeling right now than words.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's all these different kinds of sayings in life that nothing that's worth having wasn't hard, or whatever, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And it is really true. Like, my pain has become my purpose.
Yeah.
And by embracing my pain, I've now found this path, and then it just keeps getting better and better.
Right.
And at the same time, I still am floored with challenges. And as you evolve, you almost get hit with harder ones, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why I use the word bravery, because I think, are you ready to be brave enough to find joy, you know? And that means being okay with discomfort too.
Yeah.
And the reality is they come hand in hand. And so it's true. Like, the fear is valid, right? It's there. The pain is in there, and some of it is really deep, and some of it we pushed away intentionally because we never wanted to feel it again. And the reality of sitting with the fact that you are going to have to feel that to free from it is terrifying. However, if you look at it that way and you're like, this is the catalyst to my freedom, then that's it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just take the leap. And hold yourself through the storm, knowing that you are committing to what's on the other side. Like, you're not just stuck there. You're doing this for that.
Yeah.
And there's a why,
Yes.
you know? And I think just staying committed to the why and trusting, because you know that it's true. You wouldn't know it's true if you weren't getting these pings and this call, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and along those lines, just the knowing too that we don't have to do it all alone. There's an abundance in our community. There's an abundance of healers and people that can support you. So it's like you don't have to go through that dark night of the soul always on your own.
No, there's so much community that is embracing the journey, and we all know it so well ourselves, you know. So
yeah. Oh. Sophia, it's been such an honor to have you on the show. Is there anything else you feel called to share? Is there anything else you'd like to tell the audience or let people know about you or about Vitality or the work you do?
I don't know. I feel like we covered a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's a good understanding of, you know, the background of who we are and what we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
This tickle in my throat. Like, am I not saying something here?
I know. What's in there? What's the throat chakra trying to tell you?
Yeah. No, I feel like really ultimately this well-rounded approach to holistic health,
Uh-huh.
right? Supporting ourselves in all the ways, having opportunities to dive deeper spiritually, and just all of our commitments to our own practice, I think, covers everything, really. I mean, it's really that simple in the same time.
Oh, beautiful. So how can people find you, Sofia? How can they learn more about you and Vitality?
Well, we are located in Eagle, Colorado, which is west of Edwards and west of Vail. Our website is vitalityeagle.com. So www.vitalityeagle.com. Our Instagram handle is at vitality.eagle. So it's all pretty simple. Vitality Eagle. Google it. You'll find us. It has all of our information.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I highly, recommend that you guys check out Vitality and just look it up because it is such a special space and it gives so much to the community and so much to the body, the mind, the heart, and the soul. So thank you for being here, Sofia. It was a pleasure to have you on the show.
thank you for having me. And I just have to say, I love having you at Vitality too.
Yay!
It's been the best. And
Oh,
yeah, I always look forward to what comes next, you know?
awesome.